Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial. This is just a brief tutorial to walk you through how you're going to be able to do the exam, the Huawei Hcia exam. What will happen is you will receive a link which will take you directly into the exam meeting. The exam meeting is more like the exam room, where you'll be required to present yourself. The invigilator will read out your name and he will authorize you or approve you to be in the system. So what will happen, you will receive a link that looks something like this, and when you click on that link, it will launch and ask you to launch the meeting with Zoom. If you have not yet downloaded Zoom, go ahead and click on this link which says download and install now. And I advise everyone to go ahead and install the application if you don't have it installed on your machine. If you already have it, this pop-up will show on your screen and tells you that open Zoom International Meetings, and then go ahead and click on Open Zoom International Meetings. Same applies if you're using a mobile device on iOS or on Android. So when you click on that, Zoom International is going to load. This is very important. Kindly go ahead and use your actual real names. So I'm going to use my names because these names, your participant name will be shown in the meeting, and if it's not reflecting what is in the system, then you will not be authorized to do the exam. So kindly make sure that you enter your name as it appears on the system. So you go ahead and click on join meeting. When you click on join meeting, it's going to load. It doesn't require you to sign in or to sign up, just like you have seen. I've just logged in. Then it's going to ask me to join the meeting using device audio. This is important. Kindly make sure that you select this option, join with computer audio. If you don't, you won't be able to hear what the people inside the meeting are saying. At the same time, you also won't be able to speak to the invigilator in case you have any challenge. So kindly go ahead and select join with computer audio. When you click on join with computer audio, Zoom is going to start picking your devices automatically, and you'll be required by the invigilator to turn on your video. Make sure that your video is turned on, just like you see me. I am the participant here. Let me put it in gallery view. There's someone else in the meeting. I don't know who this is, but he appears, Daniel Njamba appears to be in the meeting at the same time when I'm recording this tutorial. Daniel, could you please kindly turn on your video? That's what the invigilator will ask, and he'll be able to see the participants and make sure that your name is as it appears in the system. So after joining the meeting, let me minimize this, then you go back to your Huawei account. You'll go back to your Huawei account, or you follow the link which I'll send to you, and you log in with your details. Actually, I advise before even the exam time, log into your Huawei account so that you're already logged in to avoid issues. After logging in with your Huawei account, you will navigate to My Appointments page. By this time, everyone should be familiar with that. But I advise, like you see this guy here, he will interrupt me when I'm doing my exam. So I advise when you're doing the exam, you put it at the minimal level, and then you scroll or put it down, or you hide it somewhere far from the system, somewhere like here where I know it will not affect or disturb me. So after logging in, I'm going to go to user center, and after going to user center, I'm going to navigate and look for my appointment. So I'm going to go for my appointment, and by this time, if I had an appointment, it's live. Let's say those guys who are going to do security, it will be saying blue and it will not be saying over, but it will have details, cancel, and start exam. What will happen when you click on start exam before you are approved? It will tell you that you have not passed the on-site authentication. Kindly make sure that you're in the Zoom meeting with your video on, with your name, then the invigilator should be in position to approve you. And then when you click on start exam, you'll be able to start exam. How you do the exam? Come to your appointment, click on the exam you want to do, and then go ahead and say start exam. When you click on and say start exam, then the page will load, and after the page loading, then you'll be able to see the exam page. How will the exam page look like? So I am just using this page as an example as it is loading. Even the real exam will take you to talent.huaweiuniversity.com, where you'll be able to do your exam. It will be in a browser just like this one. Let me refresh. In case it doesn't show up anything or it doesn't load, you can always refresh and then you'll be able to start your exam. Now I'm using this as an example. I'm using the mock for Hcia cloud computing, where the final exam looks exactly or uses exactly the same format and on the same platform. So kindly, this is just a demonstration purposes to show you the exact process you go through to access the exam. I was saying that just before the exam, kindly make sure that you can access this exam, because it will give you a clear understanding that your computer supports, the browser on your computer supports the exam system, and also that your connection can enable you to do the final exam. If you can do this exam, then you can also be in position to do the final exam. So kindly go ahead and click on start exam. Even in the real exam, that's how it will look like, and even the examination page will look like something like this. So the exam content will load, and depending on your network connectivity, your final exam will look exactly like this format, and it will load exactly in that manner, and you'll be on examination page, and this is what it will happen. I normally advise that before you start, you close out on all the tabs that are open to enable you have a good exam experience, and also don't forget to put your browser in full screen mode. This will enable you avoid any pop-ups on the system that can affect your experience. Kindly go ahead, select what you think is right, answer the different questions. If you're doing security, go ahead and answer them, and after answering them and you have answered all the questions to the last question and you feel like you are through, kindly go ahead and press on submit. Tip: do not panic to finish the exam. Take your time, read the question, understand it, but also do not double guess yourself. Follow your instincts, because I know you have prepared extensively and you have all that it takes to do this exam and pass the exam. So after you are done with answering the exams and everything, kindly go ahead and press on submit. But before I press on submit, I just want to show you something. For any reason, do not move away from the examination page once the exam starts. The screen switches you've been talking about and you're confused about happen this way. Like for example, if you wanted to, let me exit the full screen mode, and you wanted to increase or decrease the volume because the people in the meeting here are making a lot of noise, and maybe you wanted to check out in the meeting. I've opened the meeting tab. As you can see here, what has happened, it has told me that I have already used 3 attempts, 3 of my attempts. The exam will be submitted automatically after I use up all the available 5 times. Because it's mock, it's giving me 5 times, but the exam will only give you 3 attempts. So do not navigate away unless you want to miss the opportunity to submit your exam. It will be submitted automatically, and they will assume that maybe you navigated to Adobe Acrobat or you navigated to anything else to copy. So do not move away from the main page. You're okay, just stay on this examination page until you finish. Even if when you want to go ahead and increase or decrease volume, as you can see, it is telling me already that each trainee can leave the exam page up to 5 times. I've now used 4 attempts, and if I finish the 5th attempt, the exam will be automatically submitted, and that is what will be considered. And even your account will be reviewed, because they will assume that your exam has been submitted because you know, some kind of malpractice that you are trying to engage yourself in. Then also, most importantly, kindly make sure that you have a good stable internet, because the moment your internet breaks, they will not have access to your computers. So that means anything can happen within that break, and they'll consider it to be a screen switch. And the moment your network breaks more than 3 times, then your exam will be submitted automatically. So kindly make sure you have a good stable connection that doesn't really break. Of course, there are some, you know, level which they are lenient, but make sure you have good stable internet. As long as you can load this page, then you're good to go to do the final exam. So when you're done with answering everything to the last question, kindly go ahead and press on submit. The submit button here, submit button there. So go ahead and press on submit. They'll ask you, okay, this is what you have selected. Are you sure you want to go ahead and submit? Go ahead and press on confirm. Yes, I confirm. I want to submit. Now this is very important, and this is the screenshot I need from you. Here it will be showing account. I don't know if you are able to see, but your account will be listed there in small letters, but I want you to go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Take a screenshot of this before you press on complete or anything. Here it doesn't matter even if you navigate away, because you have already submitted the exam, so it doesn't matter and it will not affect your exam score. I'm going to share this form with you tomorrow in the same email, which will contain your exam details. Kindly go ahead and fill in this page. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. To take a screenshot, I'll open my start menu, type in the word snip, and get my snipping tool, right? Snip and sketch, or some people use snipping tool. If you want to use this legacy snipping tool, you open, and then you open your snipping tool, and after you're done opening your snipping tool, it's going to look something like this. Go ahead and click on new, and then go ahead and select this, right? Just this is enough, or you can even decide to take the entire page, but even this is enough. So you go ahead and take the snipping tool, and then you save it now. We want to save it on the desktop so that I can easily attach it on my form. You have done this before, I don't know how many number of times. I will not waste a lot of time on it. I'll just go ahead and call it a Hcia exam, and save it on my desktop. And after saving it on my desktop, I can even choose to close this and go back to this form which I have shared with you. And this is important. Whether you have failed, you have seen I've failed here, and whether you have passed, kindly make sure that you go ahead and fill in the form. So you put in your email address. In this case, this is my email address. What was my points earned? The points I earned here are seen here. I want these points. They will either be in green if you have passed, they will be in gray if you have failed, just like this. Go ahead and capture these points. This is 0 point. You could have 400, 600, 800, 900, depending on how you have performed in the exam. I don't want the percentage score. I don't want anything else here. I just want the points. So go ahead. Here I've got 0. So I'll come to my form and I say I got 0. If I got 600, I'll go ahead and say 600. If I got 620, I'll go ahead and put there 630. So that is what you do. But in this case, I got 0, so I'll put there 0. Do not add any other word, because if you put points, it will tell you please enter the points and only. So we just want a number. So you put 0, and then you go ahead and attach the file. So we're going to navigate on where we saved our document. Our file, we saved it on the desktop. So we're going to select from drive. So we go ahead to the desktop and then look for this Hcia exam image, select it, and then upload it. And then it should be in position to upload. And then when it is done, it will move away. Go ahead and put in your surname. Please, as you're filling in these details, this is important, unless when you don't want to get your certificate back. Kindly make sure that you fill in the correct details. Your user ID, go ahead and look for your user ID. It's usually above here. If you don't know it, you can always come back there, copy it, and to make sure that there are no typo errors, and then go ahead and paste it in here. Paste in the user ID, put in your phone number in international format, and select the session. Please select the session where you have done the exam. If it's 9 a.m., 11:30, or 14 hours. So you go ahead, after when you're done, you press on submit. After when you press submit, even a copy of the response will be emailed to your address for evidence purposes. Please, sometimes issues happen and your account gets blacklisted for no reason, or your certificate doesn't come back when you have passed. The students from my previous classes will tell you, but if you have this evidence, it is easy for me to help you. So you help me help you. Make sure you capture that evidence and make sure you fill in that form as I have instructed you. So once you're done, that will be all. And you just go ahead and you can go ahead and edit the form if you have made any mistake and you feel like oh, instead of saying Hcia, I actually said sendo. So you go ahead and make arrangements and make adjustments on that. So go ahead and do that. That will be all. These are the points, and I wish you good luck. And then when you're done, you can now press on complete. In case you forget and you move away from the page, maybe because you're excited or what, there's always a way you can get the exam record. In case your score or points you're unable to get them, you can come here and select get exam record. I know there will be funny students who tell me my score page disappeared, maybe, and usually the people who fail, they close thinking that they cannot get the exam record. My record disappeared or what. You will be required to come here and press get exam record. This is my last exam record, which is 0. Take a screenshot of that, of exam record, and apply and upload that screenshot, right? That's what you should do, and that's what I need you to do. And kindly note, this is a mock exam, that's why it's telling you 1 out of 3 attempts. The final exam will only have 1 attempt. Please do not misuse the attempt. It is only 1 and 1 attempt. If you misuse it, it's entirely up to you. We have given you the opportunity, so it's within your power and mandate to make sure that you ace and pass the final exam. I've shared the link to the final exam with you to try out and see if your browser supports the exam system and if your connectivity also supports the exam system. Also to note that we highly recommend either Chrome or we recommend Microsoft Edge, and also Windows operating system. Sometimes people with Linux have issues, sometimes people with the Mac have issues, so kindly just make sure that you put all those things in check before the exam time. Just remind you, for those who are doing security, kindly cross-check with your time, and those who are doing cloud computing, also cross-check with the time when you're supposed to do the exam. So thank you, and wish you success.